each office having a varying degree of connectivity. For example, railways have a continuous path where they are connected from one point to another. Likewise, the roadways, the transmission sector, the power transmission sector. And if you look into the ports, while they are in isolation, there is no physical connectivity between the ports. Maybe I should say the airports or maybe the seaports. The kind of connectivity, we are not having that kind of a connectivity. So we have to actually leverage that particular infrastructure which is going to help us out. So the digital era calls for a reach and reliability. Looking for this particular aspect, that how we can actually use the existing infra for providing that much required reach and reliability, and also give that compute efficiency, which is that infrastructure which actually can give us this particular advantage. There is a need for us to actually dwell into the topic. So, Powergrid Corporation of India Limited is actually a front runner in trying to see how we can use the existing infra, that is the infrastructure which we have created for transmission of bulk power from one point to another. How can we actually use this infra to enhance the digital era? Before going into that, I would like to give you a feel as to what this corporation is about. Powergrid Corporation of India is a Maharatna, no doubt on basis upon its performance, but it actually transports, actually it overhauls power from one part of the country to the other part with reliability and security. The kind of network what it has created over the years is one of the finest networks in the world, and we are proud to state that it's one of the largest transmission company delivering power from one point to the other. We operate transmission lines more than 1,76,000 kilometers, so meaning that we are almost touching every part of the country. We operate almost 86% of the interregional network, and we are always rated excellent in terms of the memorandum of understanding with the government. As far as the international ratings go, we are one of the best. That is, we are marked with the GI sovereign rating, and the output is stable. With this as the background, Powergrid, to ensure that its own transmission of the power sector is going to be having one of the finest communication networks to ensure reliable power transmission, we have actually started using the communication system on the transmission tower for its own requirement. For our own requirement, we have to do this. Then, looking into the potential of using an infrastructure for its own use, we found that it is going to have more beneficial utilization in other sectors as well. So, in beginning 2002, we ventured into the business of providing bandwidth to the consumers. So that's why how we started with the business of communication. And after the 2-decade experience in providing a reliable bandwidth to almost every type of a customer, we are proud to announce just 1 month ago, that is 1st of October 2023, we have created a new subsidiary, that is Powergrid Teleservices Limited, through which we are providing all the services which hitherto were being provided by Powergrid. The purpose is to give a little more trust on providing a focused approach on the telecommunication services. So, one of the unique proposition what we come over here is the transmission line, as what you know, the huge transmission towers which you see cross country, they're primarily used for forehauling bulk power from one point to another. As you see underneath, there is a power line with 3 phases what you see underneath. The top portion of the conductor, as what you say, or the tower what we see, is an earth wire which is primarily used to shield the entire system from the lightning strike. This earth wire is being gainfully utilized by embedding a fiber into it and providing the much required connectivity. A whole set of fibers are embedded into it, and this is what is spanned across the country. It is typically overlaid on the existing transmission network. So, the niceties of a transmission sector, that is, the availability of the transmission network, as much as 99.99% availability, is much available for the OPGW network. There is a fiber network brings in that much availability. The right of way, there is no issue because the right of way is already obtained while laying the transmission line and maintaining of these transmission lines. And if we look into the coverage is as much as what the transmission sector is there as on date. So meaning that we are spanning every nook and corner of the country. The cable production is sturdy because it is embedded in a steel wire, as you can see. So it is vandalism proof, and one of the finest network what is provided is that from Powergrid Corporation. Comparison between underground and an overhead. Underground, as we see, is always prone with ROW issues. It is brittle with a lot of issues. And frequent cuts owing to allied activities. Being a growing economy, we see that the entire landscape is changing every year. So meaning that new roads are being built, new flyovers are coming. So the challenges in maintaining an underground fiber is that much more difficult. The high restoration time, vulnerable to rodent menace, it is very